Well, this is Pastor Halio, and this is assessment number 9 in, uh, in regarding establishing a rule in life. And after reading chapter 10, looking at talent and missional priorities, the text asks us some questions concerning what did we do or sense somewhere where we were being Christ-like towards others, and how that made us glad, and what part of that moment recently, whether in the last week or month or anything like that. And one of the things that I thought about was I have some kids that are they're my cousin's kids, my first cousin. And my first cousin, she's been involved in drugs quite a bit. And she moved to California, got in trouble over there. She had lost custody of two more kids she had over there. And one of the things I do is I pick these kids up for church. I let them know they're loved. Grandma takes care of them. And their dad just recently got put back in prison as well. He's looking at 8 years. And one of the things that I feel that really makes me feel Christ-like is loving the kids. My own kids, they get along so good with them too, with their cousins. And I just feel like when we give out of ourselves to someone that can't do anything for us, I feel that that's Christ-like. These kids can't do anything for me. They don't have money. They don't have anything as far as what I could think as far as monetarily being a blessing to me. But in the spiritual aspect of it, I see how tender they are, how much love they have. And those are one of the things that I think that makes me feel more Christ-like, is just being able to help somebody that's in need, someone that needs love, someone that needs at least some sort of example in their lives. The grandma's a godly lady, but both parents are gone. Both parents are doing their own thing. And that's something I feel that makes me Christ-like. I think that's a part of that pastoral ministry that God's given me is, you just want to be able to help people and discussion talent and missional priorities. I feel that children and need to be one of the biggest priorities in the church. And that's something that I feel over the last months and weeks, picking them up for church. You see them sit in the front row, they fill up the front row, and it's rewarding. Another one that that was very much for the second question, in what ways did someone else become, for me, a Christ-like portrayal of missional focus and encourage my heart, is a good friend of mine. His name's Daniel Bornstein. He pastors in Ashkelon, Israel. He stayed with us for the month of October, and we had ministered in different places, and he just really encouraged me. He's been a lot of years in ministry. He's grow up Orthodox Jew and became a believer in Jesus when he was young, and his family rejected him, and he pastored there in 26 years in Argentina, and then moved to Israel and actually pastors in Israel today. And just the tips he gave us in our marriage, he talked many things with me and my wife on relationships, on priorities. There was just so much wisdom he gave us. I find that was someone that encouraged me, someone that I felt he was concerned about us, as far as staying with us, giving us advice, and the pastorate as well. It gave us such godly advice, and I just found it just enriching, and to myself personally. And people like that are, you know, just gold when you get to know them, and you get to really. I've known Pastor Daniel for years, but to be able to stay together like that and have him in our home, I just got got to know him a lot more and got a lot more out of him, so which was really good. And the last question, as you consider broadly the mission God has for his people in this world, which aspect is most compelling to you and why? What I put is the pastoral ministry. I find that that is one of the biggest things I find compelling, because Jesus said that, when he seen all the people falling down and they were like sheep without a shepherd, that the harvest is great, but the laborers are few. And I find that there is such a need for the pastoral ministry and the pastoral care of people. I feel that that's one of the talents God has given me. It is also a burden. It is hard, but it is very rewarding as well. And I think that it takes a special person to be able to fulfill that ministry. And that's one of the things I felt God has called me to do. I know the biblical reflection talks about how Noah found favor in the Lord's eyes, and it goes into Abraham, it goes into also Joseph and different people that God had given a talent in their lives, and also that favor to accomplish that talent. And I feel that God in the same way has given me that favor and also that backing to be able to do it, because I think naturally in my own self, in my own strength, I would not be able to accomplish it. One of the things that also encouraged me in the text, it was in the historical aspect, was reading about Fanny Crosby. I'm sorry, the name is almost getting it mixed up. But how she, even though she is blind, but her talent in writing hymns and what God had done with her was such a great blessing to me to read, because we may not have everything together, we may not have all the things, but with God we have everything we need. There's nothing lacking in him to be able to make out of this earthen vessel what he needs to be the treasure within. As the Apostle Paul said, he says, we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency may be of God and not of ourselves. So it's great to read stories like that. I had also seen a video that so blessed me, that encouraged me, about a young man that was born without eyes and paralyzed, and how his dad felt distraught concerning it. But over time they noticed that he had a gift for music. He could hear the music and could play it in the piano even from the age of 2. And so when they would put him there on the bench, and and his dad, and at the end of the video you'll see him pushing his son around, playing in the college band, and he moves him around, and it's the marching band. He says, how am I going to do that? And the father's the one that will go to work all night, and he will sleep and then go to school with his son to push his son around. And also in all the training, for the marching band, when they go out there on the field, the father's the one pushing him around. I kind of feel that's how we are with God, is with us too. We may not have all the ability, but where we lack, God just comes right in and helps us to accomplish that great thing he has in store for us here on earth, to be a blessing to others. And so that's my reflection, and that is also my crafting a role for life. Lord bless.